everyone, welcome back to Mountain Road Ride, and today we're going to be checking out my winter bike setup. So yeah, you can see today is definitely not ideal weather conditions, a lot of moisture on the ground. So this is sort of a typical winter day that I would experience in the northern part of Virginia throughout the winter. So for me, what I have to do is really prepare for those wet conditions, and also when the real winter strikes, there'll obviously be a lot of snow on the ground as well. So what I want to show you today is kind of my setup, 3 things that I added to my bike just to be a little bit better prepared for winter. Now today I'm not going to talk about clothing, that's sort of a blog post and a video topic all by itself. Today we're purely going to look at some accessories that you can add to your bike just to give you a little bit more protection throughout the winter riding. Now let's get started and dive into what I deem to be sort of 3 things that you can add to winterize your gravel bike. Now, love them or hate them, but Fenders can actually do a really good job to keep your backside dry and clean when you're out on a wet and muddy ride, especially if you're going to plan to do some gravel riding throughout this winter time. So I wanted a fender that could fit on a wide tire, and I mean like mountain bike wide. So I discovered this SKS X-Blade fender, and it easily covers that rear wheel from all the spray, and I've actually been legitimately impressed with how well it's been designed. First, there's the mounting system, and this works really well. So the problem with my 3T Explorer was that it does not have any fender mounts, and the arrow-shaped C-tube then further restricts what can be mounted. So what makes this X-Blade unique is that it uses this rubberized strap that can go around just about any shaped seat post and clamps in place without the need for any tools. Another highlight has to be this dual point adjustment that allows the fender just to be shaped to cover just about any sort of 700C or 650B size wheel. On the front of the bike, I probably didn't need a fender given the massive down tube of the 3T, but I decided to add one just in case. And the SKS Mud X down tube fender was my pick. Now, this one I don't have as high praise for, and I actually had to do some modifications to mine to get it to fit. The straps were just simply too short to wrap around the 3T's frame, and it makes fitment a bit of a pain. C and B scene. Now that's the trick to riding during the darker winter days. Now my motto when it comes to lights is that brighter is better. So I picked the Night Rider Omega 300 lumens tail light to get the job done, and this thing is seriously bright. It has daytime visible flash, which means that I now do just about all my rides with this thing fitted to the bike, even on bright sunny days. Sorry for all the flashing red light shots, but I wanted to show you all the different modes that this thing has. I also really like how the rear fender and the light plays together so well, since I can fit both the tail light and have it exposed and visible even with the fender mounted. I've had my Magic Shine front light for more than 9 years now, and it's clearly a testament of how well this thing is built. The older models packs a 1400 lumen punch, and it is super bright. I mean, seriously, I've had cars flash their brights at me when I run this thing at full power. Now, the updated models can now even produce 5,000 plus lumens. I mean, that's ridiculously bright. You can easily go do trickier mountain bike trails in the pitch dark with a light like that. My older model still had a clunky external battery pack, but the newer models are much more streamlined. The last accessory on my list is a tire with some additional grip. I recently added a set of Hunt 650B wheels along with the Pirelli Cinturato 50mm Gravel M tires to my 3T. Now I'll still do a full review of both these things in the future, so do stay tuned for that, but the initial impressions have been really good. The 50mm Pirelli tires provide endless grip on some of the wetter trails that I've been riding on. This thread just also has done an excellent job to shed off that mud that accumulated on the tire. I'm still keen to see how it performs when I throw some of the snowy, maybe 15% plus gradient hills at it later on this winter. If you're looking for something a little less extreme and maybe you only plan to stick to the wetter paved roads during the winter time, then be sure to check out the review that I made of the Panna Racer Gravel King tires back in the summer. I've had the 700 by 26 version of this tire on my road bike the entire year, and the additional tire texture really makes this a solid option for a winter road tire.
Alright, so there you go. That's a quick look at some of the accessories that I've added to my bike just to make it a little bit better suited for the wet winter riding conditions that I plan to ride out throughout this winter time. Now, if you like this kind of content, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and do subscribe to our channel. There'll be plenty more gravel related content here on Mountain Road Ride. Until next time, I'm Vian. Enjoy your ride.